Well, hello, Mr. Ing. I will be paying you a visit this evening. In your dreams.
Mr. Ing, please show us a bit of that scary improv you do so well!
Don't be scared, Alan. I just need a friend to play with.
Please visit our Spirit Halloween store. We have many varieties to choose from our sports to our Hollywood designs. Now I think I'm getting out of here. It's getting kind of spooky. Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy October 31st. It's Film Threats Halloween special. Alan Ing is waiting in the wings. That's right. He's gonna join shortly. We will reveal to each other our Halloween costumes. I spent a long time on mine. Let's bring Alan on and see what he has to say, because
it's showtime.
Happy
Halloween!
Happy Halloween! What are you doing, my friend? What's going on?
I wrote a review this morning. Someone challenged me, and I watched a bunch of old Frankenstein movies. So I've seen Frankenstein at least 5 times.
I've been reading those on the site. They're amazing.
Yeah.
And
hopefully this weekend I'll get the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein up.
Yeah, I've talked to so many friends who've seen Frankenstein now, and everyone loves it. And unsolicited, they're saying best picture.
Yeah.
Best picture.
Like I said, it may not be my favorite movie, but it checks all the Oscar best picture boxes.
Right. So, hey, I've got like Halloween videos to share. Should we wait till more people get here to share our outfits with each other? I think we show some stuff here. Let's have some fun. Halloween is my favorite holiday. I decorate like on the 1st of October. Actually, in September, I actually start decorating. It's my favorite holiday because why? No relatives. There's no relatives. There's no Thanksgiving, no stressing about presents. Like the only thing you need to worry about is your costume. So I dug up some fun videos here, and we'll reveal our costumes after this. Alan, I found these are some decorations. Like, look, I have a huge bin of Halloween decorations. I have like a tiny bin of Christmas. So let me just play this for you. Look how crazy these decorations are.
Oh, we're gonna get a copyright struck.
All right, well, I'm gonna turn that off then. But look at this. I love it. I can't get enough. That is insane. These inflatables. I've seen them and they're like bigger than houses.
Yeah.
I love this. I love it. I love that people go this far. I like the ones that actually get offensive. Those are fun.
I see some humping skeletons.
Yeah. That's good. Look at that. Oh my God, Pennywise. But yeah, the people where do they store this stuff? I mean, year round. I mean, I have one bin, but these people go all out.
Yeah.
Well, I might have
pretty sure they're spending money on a storage unit 12 months of the
year. Look at that.
Just for,
look,
oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Yeah. And then at night, I mean, there are neighborhoods you can go and just look at these. Burbank has some really good ones. So I don't know. Is trick or treating even a thing in my neighborhood in Pasadena? They don't really trick or treat. I'll tell you what people do. They go to Old Town Pasadena. Here, let me show you some more stuff. More stuff I dug up here. Check this out. These kids made, I want to start this over. They their own Transformers costumes.
That
This is not only cute. Look, this, okay, I don't know what your costume is, Alan. Neither of us are as good as these.
No.
Neither of us. I mean, that is
Bumblebee.
just
Look at
Bumblebee.
the
Look at this
Bumblebee.
kid. I mean, kudos to the parents who made those for those kids, because that is unbelievable. I love Halloween. I mean, this is amazing. All right, I got one more thing to show before we go to our God, I love it. That is awesome. Okay, one more thing here. This is, look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Like a circus.
All right, we're gonna we'll turn off.
Yeah, turn the music off.
Yeah, say something scary, Alan. But this,
Blah.
how do you? I mean, you have to have another house to keep these in. This is that's not AI. This is some collector who bought this stuff over the years. Everything's themed. You've got Mars Attacks, you've got Leatherface, clowns. You know, they did a survey. There's some national organization of clowns that did a survey asking kids, would you like a clown at your birthday party? It was a way to promote like hiring a clown for your birthday. And 100% of the kids said no, they don't want a clown because they're scary. They're scary. So, hey, that's what I got to share. I don't know if you have anything, but at this point, now
I'd love to see David Arquette show up at my house as Bozo the Clown.
Yeah, as Bozo. So Alan and I are both dressed up. Now, my avatar is actually a photo of me from the set of Night of the Living Dead. I played a zombie, and that was my makeup. And I was a featured zombie directed by Tom Savini. It was the 91 remake that came out with Tony Todd, Patricia Tallman. It was a great experience. It was like going to summer camp, and I loved it. I still have my certificate that I passed zombie school. I had to learn how to be a background actor. I learned a lot. But Alan, do you want to go first?
Sure.
All right. Alan, let's see your costume reveal.
All right. Hold on. What button am I hitting? Oh, this button.
That's pretty good, man.
Okay, here we go. This is the bit. Yes, Reed Richards. I will rule you one day.
Did you go to Spirit Halloween or something?
That was the bit.
Are you going to wear that for the whole show?
No.
Okay. I want to see your face.
All right.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
My face is like Robert Downey Jr. as he'll appear in Doomsday. He'll be normal. He'll be Kylo Ren.
He'll be normal. Okay. All right.
Kylo Ren and just look normal.
That's good. All right. My turn here. I will reveal, and you're gonna know it immediately who I am. So let's go. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm James Gunn. These glasses or these glasses. What is the chat? I think maybe these glasses. I've seen him wear glasses that are like this. So I am James Gunn right now.
Yes, and you should have had like a typewriter off to the side so as you're
Right.
writing a role for your wife.
Right. And oh my God, Man of Tomorrow is going to be so great. There's a romance between Harcourt and Lois Lane. There'll be a Lois Lane, Clark Kent, Harcourt throuple. That is sort of the heart of the story of Man of Tomorrow. If you think I'm kidding, I'm pretty sure Harcourt is going to be in there, and she'll be rivals with Lois Lane. There will be a Lois Lane Harcourt scene, I predict, in Man of Tomorrow. When I say I predict it, I'm writing it right now. So there you go. Yep. Well, that's our
There you go.
Our costumes. Let's go to comments, and then we've got a lot of news stories. Holy cow!
Holy cow.
We have got a lot of new members. Thank you to our new members today. This is great. Check out our members only videos like Q&As with Sydney Sweeney, Hugh Jackman, Kate Hudson, lots of recent movies. Alan and I go to these special screenings. We film the Q&As and share them with you. So thank you, M. Philly, Jason Allen, Film Days Productions, Shauna Smith, MT78, Hatanshi Prajapati. I got that right. Another member, Trey Knoll, Happy Halloween. John Manling, member for 39 months.
Wow.
Alan, how's the Shire these days?
Yes.
You look like a hobbit.
I know. Now I do. Here we go.
You're the tallest hobbit. Because you are tall. What are you, 6'2"?
6'1".
6'1", close enough. But let's see. We have got some more
doom boobs.
Your doom.
Doom
Yes.
pasties.
Show me your doom boobs.
Ah, there you go. Look at that. Right there. Right there.
Oh my God. Oh, that's good. All right.
All right.
And Patrick Lemire says 38 months. Happy Halloween. And Beach Dad, member for 3 months. Happy Halloween, everyone. Thank you to all our members chiming in. And Geek Truth 64, always a member, has been a member for a long time. Chris as James Gunn as Superman and Alan as a Hobbit. That's it. That's the conclusion.
I should just bought the cape.
Put the mask in the background. Serious Man. Hey, Serious Man. Thank you. Member for 19 months.
Yeah,
Happy Halloween Film Thread. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. I think these glasses might be better. Here we go. God, I look old in these glasses. I don't like them.
I was thinking you were James Gunn's father.
And Lord Thaw says, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Alan, do the rest.
Sign up as a member. Join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram. And buy our merch at shop.filmthreat.com. And
just like what is happening in your neighborhood, our Spirit of Halloween store will be closing after today, but you can still get a shirt. The Bride of Film Threat, Night of the Film Threat. That's my favorite one. Creature from the Film Threat, based on classic and iconic horror logos. Nightmare on Film Threat. We've got a lot. So look, it's the Indie Horror Film Threat show. I love that one. The Thing. I like this one. Alien, Film Threat, the 13th. I've got that one as well. Pick your color, your size, your design. So there you go. Go to shop.filmthreat.com. Okay, we've got Halloween related news. Whoa, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And, wait, one last super chat here.
Yes, James Ricci, aka Gen X Fed. Chris, James Gunn's outfit is more sinister costume I have seen this year. Truly frightening. Alan does look like a Rings of Power DEI Harfoot.
Yeah, how come there are no Asian?
What?
How come there are no Asian hobbits?
Because we're learning that J.R.R. Tolkien is racist.
Yes, exactly. And
what the news is saying.
When it comes to diversity, it really only means one ethnicity.
No, white and black.
Hey, I have not seen this trailer,
and
I've heard some good. I've heard some not so great. Let's look at the trailer for Scream 7. I'll be watching it along with you, Alan. We're probably gonna, unfortunately, if you're watching this live, we may have to clip it because we'll get hit. But let's watch it on the live with you. All the people watching us live. Let's see. So I'm going to share screen here, and I can't wait to see it. Are you a Scream fan, Alan?
Yes, actually.
I like the Scream movies. Okay. All right, here we go.
This is it.
Can't believe we're staying at the Psycho Killer B&B.
Oh, that's so cool. It's a motion detector.
This is gonna be fun.
It looks okay. I like the fun thing about the Scream movies is, well, who is it and what's their motivation and what horror tropes are they going to make fun of or twist? So
yeah, I mean, look, the original movies, it was about the rules of horror and following those rules.
Right,
And
right.
I feel like, I don't know, I didn't see any of that, and I feel like it's straying from that. You know, look, Scream 5, they missed a great opportunity, because I don't know if you remember Scream 5. That was the first Jenna Ortega one. But who dies in that one? Only the white people. But they never call that one out, because that's a great horror trope of just killing the white people in a diverse cast.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with that. It's fine. Whatever. I think it's funny, but I just here's why it's bad, actually. Because then you know what's going to happen. You know that if a certain character is a certain identity, that they're safe, and that's boring. I want all cards on the table, like Jaws. If you kill a dog and a kid in your movie, a young kid, no one is safe. And that's what horror should be.
Yeah. I mean, well, that was the hallmark of at least the first 3 Scream movies. It starts with the super famous actress who gets murdered right off the bat.
Yeah. I like that. I like it. So, look, I'll be there. What's opening in February? Not much. So Scream 7, I'm gonna be there.
I will probably not be there.
All right. You didn't rename yourself. I'm Superman's James
Oh, yeah,
Gunn.
I forgot that.
Okay, you got to rename yourself. But I've got a story to share here with you. We often go to Rotten Tomatoes to see, what do the critics think? What do the critics think? Well, let's take a look at this. It's the best Halloween movies of all time. This is Rotten Tomatoes list according to what they say is a horror movie, and then based on the Rotten Tomatoes score. I don't know if I like those parameters, and I'll reveal my at least top 3 favorite horror films of all time. This is the best horror movies of all time, according to Rotten Tomatoes and the Rotten Tomatoes score. Now, I breezed through the list, and I'll just say I question what they're calling a horror movie and the ranking. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment while I go to the bottom, and I'll just breeze down to the bottom, and then, because you're not going to believe what's number 1 on this list. But I'll tell you what's number 200. You ready?
Yes.
Number 200, Christine. What's
a horror film?
It's a horror film, but okay, it's number 200 at 74%.
It's the worst of the best.
The Mist is number 199 at 74%. Also, 2007.
Yeah.
This is weird. You really want some editorial license to go, well, that may have been what critics said at the time, but a movie like, say, The Thing at the time, which was not a huge hit, and critics were very mixed on The Thing. Over time, that movie has aged. It's become a classic. It's in my top 3, but let's see. We're going to breeze through. Phenomena, Dario Argento, number 198. Eden Lake is better than Christine.
And The Mist.
What?
Yeah.
We're going to be there. The Howling, 76%, 196. Wow. I really, Basket Case. Okay. The original from 82. I saw that in a theater at like some art house as a kid. And it's weird. Frank Henenlotter. But that's number 195. I'm going to breeze through this.
Planet
This is
Terror, yeah.
not looking good. Night of the Comet, that's considered horror. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, at least these the 190 to 198 look like okay. They could be down at the bottom of the list. Is Christine in the Mist really?
We'll put a link in the
Yeah.
description for this list, but The Brood, David Cronenberg, is 82%. It's 189. I shudder to think what's in all this. Look at this. This, I don't know if you know what I want to do. The Tenant, Roman Polanski. I mean, is
horror
that
film?
horror? It's more suspense with horror elements.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would class that.
I mean, like, could you throw in Hitchcock as horror?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's another Rotten Tomatoes list
Yeah.
where they set parameters and then end up with a crappy list. You really need some editorial, like some horror experts, but like a panel of 10 people who have horror channels that only cover horror that can curate a list.
Well, I mean, here's the thing is movies that came out before 2000, critics were less of a shill. And so that's why you get these lower percentage numbers versus today, critics tend to just like it. They like everything. While we hate everything.
Well, I think that what has happened over time, as Rotten Tomatoes has acquired more and more critics and reached out, first it was like credible critics who write for media outlets, newspapers, magazines. Okay, that was Rotten Tomatoes. Then they kind of branched out to bloggers, people with individuals with websites, Film Threat being among them.
Yeah.
Then they reached out to YouTubers. And then they reached
social media influencers.
They have basically, they've weakened the pool by just adding a lot of critics that, may or may not have a historical perspective, expertise. Creep.
I mean, television, the television end of it is even worse. It's hard to find things under 90% in television.
Well, look at this. Creep. I love that movie with Mark Duplass. It's a weird, it's not a found footage. I mean, kind of is, but there's a narrative to it. It's really good. And there's a Creep too. Haxon. Okay, there you go. Deep Red is 94%. So everything from here on, from number 183 up to the top,
90%
is above 94%.
Which doesn't give older films a shot.
Yeah, like where is Bride of Frankenstein? The Lost Boys? No, wait.
No,
that's
weird. It's
Thanks
probably because they didn't have
100%.
enough critics. Like, look, there's 100%, but it's at 182.
Okay, I'm just gonna slowly creep to the top,
All right.
step by step, inch by inch. I will. Land of the Dead is not great. I mean, it's George Romero. It had potential. I did not love that movie, but I like the other of the Dead films by George. The Lodge.
Really?
Oh God, I think that movie was at Sundance. I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
It was
Which again says,
75%. So it's above Frailty. Oh, by Bill Paxton directed that. That's oh God, I remember that. But is it straight horror? Okay, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, number 175. The original Scream, number 174 at 78%. So there was some curation. They're not going straight by scores.
Yeah.
Exorcist.
You can still add your score
Exorcist.
to it. Yeah.
Okay. My top 3. I'm going to reveal right now. My top 3 horror films. And I'm going to put that back up in a second. Top 3. Number 1, Night of the Living Dead. The original, 1968. It's scary. While it may not stand the test of time for some with some of the acting, created the rules of the zombie genre. Night of the Living Dead 68, number 1. Number 2, John Carpenter's The Thing, 82. And number 3, The Exorcist. My top 3 right there. Alan, do you have a top horror films? And we'll go back through the list.
I don't, but I can tell you the story of early in my marriage, my wife and we're in the living room sitting together. I'm playing video games and my wife is on her phone watching a movie. She's watching The Ring. And so it's really quiet except for the video game. And then all of a sudden I hear a blood-curdling scream come out of my wife. It's like, what the hell are you watching?
What was she? Oh my God. So it just, freaked her out.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I would say
I would assume that's the word. That's the best horror movie.
These Rotten Tomatoes lists are flawed.
Yeah.
And they kind of piss me off.
Again, movies before 2000 are gonna score low. Period.
Dr. Sleep, which was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. I mean,
the fact that it's high up on the list.
I like Rebecca Ferguson in that movie. She's good. Candyman original at number 171 at 79%. We could do a whole show and do all of this. I mean, we can't spend all the whole show. Some of these movies, 1408, The Shallows.
I know, better than The Exorcist.
160. The original, that would be number 4 on my list. The original Halloween. Well, this is 2018. Doesn't count.
So
but the original Halloween.
So that probably deserves to be there.
Yes, at 167. Yes, 79%. But the original Halloween will be number 4 for me. I love this movie as a kid. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Julie Adams in it in this one-piece bathing suit was amazing. All the underwater stuff. The costume doesn't look cheap. It's a functional. That was a great, and it's a short movie too. Love that film. The Conjuring 2, number 160. We could spend the whole show, Alan, doing this. Audition. You know what? I'm gonna scroll.
Yeah, we got movies to review.
So. Yeah. I'm gonna scroll up to the top 10.
All right.
But wait a sec. Did I see The Thing? The Thing at number 142.
The Omen. You even passed The Omen.
Really?
Yeah.
The Omen is my number 5.
There's The Shining.
Midsummer I quite like and the Paranormal Activity movies are fun. I will put them in my top 10. But man, The Shining. Oh, The Shining is coming back to theaters in IMAX, by the way. The Thing at number 142. F this list. Number 139. Okay, The Omen, the original Omen, 136. I'm gonna The Evil Dead. We're not gonna. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up to the top 10.
Poltergeist. You just passed Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
There's Duel, Dead Zone,
American Werewolf in London. Look at these are
Zombieland.
I don't know what the rules are for why they curated the list this way. The Wicker Man. This is frustrating.
Yeah.
The Witch by Robert Eggers. That's another great one.
The Vavitch.
You know what? Nina Forever, never saw it. Don't know about this one.
But it's better.
But it's better than The Witch, apparently. Number 75. Dawn of the Dead. This list is frustrating. Wait, was that The Fly? Yes, The Fly. That's in my top 10. Wow. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978. I like the original too.
Yeah, the way it's looking, I bet you
Alien.
Yeah,
my
I bet you the top 10
is
all after the year 2000.
Yeah. Weapons is on the list. Well, fine, I guess. But they need to go by eras, aliens. Look, we're getting up there. We're getting a Night of the Living Dead at number 35. Crime, but The Love Witch, I don't consider that horror. I like Anna Biller. That's not horror.
Oh, there's Silence
Silence
of
of the Lambs.
at
All right,
30.
we're gonna get to the top 10. Their top 10, not ours.
Rosemary's Baby. There you
There's
go.
original Halloween at number 17. King Kong.
Psycho.
Jaws. Number 13.
Not even the top 10. Sinner's not even the top 10. The Ring. Okay, hold on. Slow down to 10.
Okay.
Number 10.
Number 10, Vampire from 1932.
At
Okay.
98%.
Bride of Frankenstein, number 9. The Loved Ones from 2009 at number 8, which is better than everything. Host at number 7. I like Host.
Okay.
Not a top 10 movie. Not for me.
Only one movie so far before the year 2000.
Let the Right One In from 2008.
Yeah.
The Babadook. I like that. Not a top 10, but a very good horror film. Get Out. Not a top 10.
Keep scrolling
for me.
Yeah.
But it's number 4. Number 3, The Wailing.
Yeah.
At 99%. Under the Shadow 2016 at number 2. And the number 1 horror film, according to Rotten Tomatoes, is His House.
His House. Woo.
Can I just say, never heard of it, but it's on Netflix.
But it's the number 1, 100%.
F this list.
Why does
They need horror experts. F
Yeah.
this list, Alan.
they need a better algorithm? But again, I told you that the top 10, all but one were past the year 2000.
All right. We're going to do one more news story before we get to reviews today. Then we have 2 interviews. Stick around for those. We have an interview with the filmmakers behind The Spirit of Halloweentown, a documentary, and the director of Ick, Joseph Kahn, will be here. Can't wait to talk to them and share the trailers with you. But guess what, Alan? Rachel Zegler is back in the news. She is on a tour basically to rehabilitate her reputation. She did an interview with Glamour magazine. You're a fan of Glamour. I know you read it.
Yes.
You read it all the time.
I mean, look at my outfit.
Yeah, your Hobbit outfit. I didn't realize if you take a Hobbit and add a Dr. Doom mask, it's a whole
You have
ensemble.
Dr. Doom, yes.
Yes, but here is from Glamour, Rachel Zegler, Fire and Grace. Alan, what's in this story?
All right. Well, I'm going to jump in the middle of it. Her portrayal, this is regarding Snow White. Her portrayal of the classic Disney princess sparked an immediate right-wing backlash, largely due to her Latina heritage. Her mother is Colombian American, clashing with the fair-skinned description of the original fairy tale. Things intensified when Zegler publicly criticized the story's old-fashioned romantic tropes, calling the prince a guy who literally stalked Snow White. And later, when she voiced pro-Palestinian support online, tabloids and social media quickly turned her into a target, even blaming her for the film's box office stumble, despite her dedication to the role. Zegler, however, has remained unapologetically candid. Honestly, I'm a duck, she said of the criticism. It rolls right off my back these days. She insists that actors shouldn't be expected to silence their feelings, arguing that public figures are often treated like paper dolls without real opinions. Despite the storm, she reflects warmly on the experience of making Snow White, saying her love for the work and the friendship she formed on set, like with Helen Mirren, kept her grounded. Helen Mirren was on set. That's the story.
Alan, you're a big Disney fan. What do you think of this? Is this her attempt to kind of come back? Make a comeback?
Well, she is doing Evita. She did Evita in London. I believe they're bringing it to Broadway. I've seen bootlegged footage of the performance, and she's not that bad. She belongs on Broadway and not in movies. But this is my issue with Hollywood, is they just don't understand the things they do and why people don't like it. To say that it's a right-wing backlash because of her Latina heritage. No, it was about the other things she said, like demeaning Walt Disney,
Right.
demeaning 1937 values, The pro-Palestinian stuff didn't help either. And it's, look, have your opinions, whatever, but understand that you're also promoting the work you do. And then also the she was the least of the problems of Snow White. We've talked about it. It was the story. It was the script. It was the clear allusions toward communism that just turned people off. But to say it was a right-wing backlash because of her Latina heritage shows that you don't understand what it takes to make a movie and to make a good movie that attracts people, attracts box office.
I think she's on a tour to rehabilitate her image, to attempt to get in a tentpole Hollywood film. I don't think this will help because she, while she is not the only reason Snow White failed, she was certainly a contributing factor. She was a contributing factor. Her conduct, her condemnation of half the country didn't help that movie. So I think Hollywood's going to crack down on this as you see profits. Profits are now a concern. As some have said, the fever in Hollywood is broken. We need to make movies that make money. And the fact that this year at the Oscars, we may have 3 Best Picture nominees that are horror films that we can see are objectively they're all profitable. Weapons, Sinners, Frankenstein, profitable in its own way. I think that Hollywood's waking up to maybe we should just pivot, be less political. Not that they give up their values, but less political. What they prioritize as their values, and they're going to attempt. I don't think it's going to work, but Broadway, they'll love her. She can say anything she wants. Yeah. Let's go to comments and then we'll get to reviews. We have to review a bunch of films in 30 minutes.
Yes. From Lucky Ocho, from member for 8 months. Did you guys see the new Scream trailer?
We just did, Lucky Ocho. Lucky Ocho.
Member for 8 months.
Yeah, thank you for being a member for 8 months. We appreciate the support.
Lucky Ocho. Phil Mitchell's Fist for 10. Happy Halloween, guys. Thank you for everything. I'm still fan geeking over being able to chat with y'all.
Chat all you want.
Yeah.
You can talk to us, Phil. Phil Mitchell's Fist. What's Phil Mitchell's Fist? Is that a reference to something I don't know? But thank you for the 10. Thank you for being a member. We love chatting about movies. And occasionally Rachel Zegler. A lot of people, because there are a lot of members here. It's great. Comics and became a YouTube member. Check out members only videos. Lots of fun stuff. You can see Alan not drink at parties and me drink at parties.
By the way, Phil Mitchell's Fist is from the EastEnders.
Oh, the EastEnders. Oh.
Yeah. All right.
Shucksy. Hey, Shucksy, I got your latest letter in the mail. Appreciate you.
Love the costumes, Chris and Alan. Happy Halloween to all. Wishing everyone a fun, spooky weekend. And those lists are all total BS. That's why they had to do 200. Because if they just did the top 25, no one would know any of those movies.
By the way, the best comment. This is the comment of the day. Alan is doom-some.
Doom-some.
Alan is doom-some.
Doom-some.
That is okay. Now you have to change it from Alan Ing, but change it.
Yeah,
to
where do I do it? I can't.
Just go edit name.
Edit where name. Is that?
It's there.
Okay.
Doom-some. Thanks. That's great. Thanks, Patrick. Oh, that's so awesome.
Okay, Mike MC Wong, put her in Scream as the first victim.
Yes, Rachel Zegler. That would actually be great if Rachel Zegler did that, had a sense of humor about herself. I think the problem that people have with her is that she has no sense of humor about herself.
Yeah. Yeah, but I can guarantee you this. If she is the first victim in Scream, she will not receive right-wing backlash.
Yes. Couple more
Speaking
good
of which-
comments here. We had a lot of good
Speaking of
comments.
which, D. Goodhart says if it was right-wing backlash, then why didn't the left overwhelmingly show up for the film? That's just a stupid statement. Exactly.
Exactly, D. Goodhart. Thank you.
Yeah. Brujo, member for 5 months. May as well flash my green as well.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Brujo.
Rudy for 2. Alan, how did you get James Gunn as a guest?
Well, let me tell you, Peacemaker Season 3, which connects directly to the Wonder Woman movie. And then Creature
it's gonna be an
Commandos.
orgy. Is there gonna be an
Creature
orgy in the Wonder
Commandos.
Woman
We're
movie?
gonna have our first animated orgy. You're gonna love it. It's all for kids. DC. Thanks, Rudy.
Comics and for $9.99. Thanks for the follow on Twitter for your information. You guys are great. Would love to collab sometime if you're agreeable. Keep killing it either way, Danny.
Oh, do you have your own YouTube channel? Yeah, let us know, Danny. That's great. Yeah, we have a show on Mondays called Versus, and it's a news show. We talk about latest film news, and we get lots of various pundits from other YouTube channels to give their opinion. Reach out to me if I'm following you on Twitter. I follow people that make comments that I find clever or are nice to me.
Mm-hmm.
People that are not nice, I set my phasers to ignore. I just whatever.
Helpless Hero, new member. Thank you. And also a new member.
Yeah, thank
is
you.
Jason Voorbees.
Cool. Oh, great. Comic said I'm the one who interviewed Bo DeMeo. Oh, yes, great. Okay, DM me on Twitter and we'll talk. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, look, Alan, look at your name. I love that.
Oh,
Doom Sum.
Doom Sum.
Doom Sum. Oh my.
What you eat?
And I'm Superman's James Gunn. Oh yeah. I don't have really a sound. Thank you. Everyone loves Superman.
That's his doorbell.
It made more money than Man of Steel. It did. But Alan, we do have films to review. We've got a lot to review. So we need to get to those film reviews. Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm trying to find a video, like a good transition to talk about movies.
Yeah, but this transition to that transition is not going well.
Come on. Well, all right. You're right. It's not.
It's showtime.
All right, Alan. We've got a lot of films. Oh, wait, quick thing. Brujo gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Thank you. It's important. Become a member, support the channel. We deliver on extras. I think we do. Okay, here we go. Alan, you ready?
Yes.
Tell me about John Candy, I Like Me. The film is currently playing on
Prime.
Amazon, on Prime Video, Amazon. I've heard, first of all, who does not love John Candy as a comedian? I remember watching him on Second City as a kid, and he's just amazing career. But this documentary really goes deep. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So, it pretty much goes through all of John Candy's very short life, from his childhood. Unlike most people in Hollywood, he had a pretty good upbringing. I think the most tragic aspect of his life, excuse me, of his story, is that the men in his family don't live past 35. His grandfather died early. His father died early, and of course, he died way too early. And it basically goes through every aspect, and the quality of his life is shown by the people they interview. Tom Hanks, Steve Martin, the cast of SCTV, Catherine O'Hara, Eugene Levy. Everybody loved him. He was a guy that, if you ever met him, you would instantly think he was your best friend. That's how he treated people. And then it gets into his style of comedy. And I've got to say that there are three people who I pattern my comedy after that I wanted to be like when I do comedy. It's John Candy, Phil Hartman, and Steve Martin. That's kind of how I pattern my comedy. And a lot of it is he just creates a character that could exist in the real world. And it's these quirks and foibles that these characters have that brings the comedy about. It goes through, how he got to SCTV. He was part of the Godspell crew. I believe he auditioned for Saturday Night Live. He got on SCTV, and then just made bank in movies. He became best friends actually with John Hughes, which brought us Uncle Buck, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and there was a third one I can't remember. He's obviously in Home Alone. Yeah, and it's just tragic. The way he went was basically the stuff he struggled through was his weight, because people wanted him to lose weight, but at the same time, if he lost weight, he would lose his personality, and he was constantly fighting that, and he just wasn't living the healthiest life possible, and that's what ultimately led. And because of all that, it was the stress. It was the stress that he was bearing in his life that finally did him in. But look, this is a great man, deserving of a great documentary. That's what this is, and when it ends on Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, you're gonna cry. You're absolutely gonna cry. Yeah. Because he's not too far off from that character, and just the performance, especially at the end of that movie when Steve Martin and Dell they collide in that epic teardown is just heartbreaking, and it still is every time I watch that movie. So a great man. Go watch John Candy, I Like Me.
My only fear watching it, I will cry.
You will cry.
I will cry. It is, just like so many great memories. And like, who are the comedians like John Candy? Look at that era of comedy and comedians that were prominent in that era. Where are they today?
Yeah. Well, no, think about it this way.
Where is the group? You can name off top of your head so many people from that era. Steve Martin, John Candy, go on and on and on from that era. Today, Seth Rogen.
Yeah. No, the point I want to make here is after his death, the void that it left in comedy and movies. If he hadn't died and he could have lived a lot longer, there would have been 12 comedy classics that at least that came out of him, would have come out of him. And we don't have that. To me, Phil Hartman is the exact same way. That man was a master at comedy. And if he had lived, we would probably have 10 to 12 great comedies from him and from John Candy, even John Belushi. And they're gone. And the world is sadder for it.
Let's go to quick comments. We'll do limited comments so we can get through these reviews. And we have 2 interviews you're going to love. You're going to love these interviews. So.
Yeah, ADL is John Candy and Robin Williams are in a class of their own. Absolutely.
Think of it. Think of the iconic names from back then. None exist today. Top of mind. Will Ferrell's not funny anymore. It just isn't.
Steve Martin could be, but I don't know that he could make. I think we've seen the greatest stuff out of Steve Martin already. Laura Buckles, he had an everyman vibe to him. Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, Alan, you saw Begonia.
Yeah.
And this movie, okay. The director of this movie is an acquired taste. To be fair. Okay. Yorgos Lanthimos, who did films like Poor Things, who did films like The Lobster, which I did not love. The Lobster. Poor Things, I enjoyed its roots in classic horror. Like he's an acquired taste as a filmmaker. But I would go see, I mean, The Favorite, amazing. Kinds of Kindness, not so much. For me, he's batting 50-50. An amazing film, amazing films, and ones that are like WTF. However, in today's cinema, when everything is safe or built on IP or just a remake or a requel or a prequel or whatever, I'll take a bad Yorgos Lanthimos movie over a good Marvel film any day. So Begonia is his latest. And it focuses on it's Emma Stone, who is now, this is like what, the third film she's done with him. I think it's the third film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Fourth
Four Things and The Favorite.
Using Kinds of Kindness.
Yeah. So Emma Stone plays Michelle. She is the CEO. She is an alpha female, runs this company that does tech. And we see how purposeful she is. We meet her when she's doing a corporate video for her company about DEI, and she complains that the word diverse is in her script too much and is being really snide about it. And she's a badass, right? Then we also meet Teddy, played by Jesse Plemons, and his cousin Don, played by Aiden Delbus. And they are wackadoodle conspiracy theorists who hatch a plan to kidnap Michelle and because they think she's an alien, okay? They're convinced she's an alien. They shave her head and cover her with cream so she can't contact her mothership, okay? To basically negotiate a deal where the aliens will leave the earth, because the aliens that are living among us on earth, according to Teddy, are ruining society, everything they're doing. So there you go. So a lot of the film is this tense, suspenseful at Teddy's house where he's keeping her hostage, tied up, and Michelle, of course, thinks they're crazy. You guys are nutcases. I'm not an alien. At a certain point, in order to preserve herself for self-preservation, she decides to play along. That's the story, which you can get from the trailer. It is, I mean, I love that the film opens with images of bees and whatnot. It kind of, there's a whole thread about the earth, preserving the earth. What is the purpose of humans on earth? Might be a little thread. The score for this movie, happen to know, going to the Q&A for this film, the score for the movie was done without any knowledge of what the movie was about. It's fantastic and over the top, and the film is so tense and also violent and funny. It's like sweet and sour, and that's what I like about it. It feels like this could have been made by Tarantino in some way. You've got high crime, stakes, tension, violence, and also humor in the worst of places. And for that reason, I'm avoiding any specific more about the story or spoilers because I do not want to spoil it for you at all. The ending of this movie, I'll just say it went there. It went there. It goes for it. And that's all I'll say. So one of my favorites of the year. I like, my taste is somewhat a little weird.
Yeah,
So
I'm not surprised you like this movie.
I don't like movies that are just normal cookie cutter BS. I don't like those movies. Show me something I haven't seen before. One of my favorites of the year, Bugonia. So go see it. knowing nothing. Alan, what did you think?
Yeah, I liked 80% of this movie. The first 80%. I'll say the first hour and 45 minutes. I liked it because it really dealt with that idea of you have two really extreme sides. Two guys who think she's an alien, and a woman who's saying she's not an alien, and this interaction is just really fun to watch. And you say it's it's violent, it's funny. I'll agree with you that. To me, the problem I have with the movie is the ending. And I won't say anything about the ending, but I'll say
Okay, by
okay,
the way,
hold on. No. You've already talked about why you like the ending. I'm telling you why I don't like the ending. And the reason I don't like the ending is because look, this should be a Twilight Zone episode, but it doesn't end like a Twilight Zone episode. And that's the biggest problem, because even the people who were in the theater with me was like, you mean this or you mean that? People, there's a level at which you have to kind of understand and get the point of the movie. And I think for me and the audience, we didn't exactly get the point of the movie. We got to the end of the movie. We saw the end of the story of the movie, but what was the point of the movie? And to me, that's why I'm not as excited about this movie as you are. I wanted a Twilight Zone ending, because the Twilight Zone ending ends with a punchline, an ironic punchline, saying everything you saw, boom, this is it. This is the statement about human nature and all this other stuff. And it wasn't there. It just ends the way it does. And so yeah, like I said, I liked the first hour and 45 minutes. It's the last 20 minutes that I'm just like, nah.
Well,
it's just a big letdown.
It's based on a Korean film.
Doesn't matter. It's still a bad movie. Still a bad ending.
Look, I disagree.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the ending, the ending kind of blew my mind, and the fact that it kind of they also, by the way, they drag the ending out in the best way, with
because it's going to happen,
images.
But it's like it's going to happen. It's going to happen,
and then you're like, and then it just keeps dragging. It lets you sit there with this knowledge, and you see. I don't want to, but I'm just saying, like, I loved that it went there, and then you're left to sit with your feelings and trying to process it. I love the feeling it gave me at the end.
Yeah, feelings are fun, but at the same time, you want some kind of intellectual stimulation by the end.
Let's go to your comments.
It's like Tron Ares. Let's just put it that way. Patrick Lemire, they've mastered faster than light travel, but we can defeat them with cream.
That's right.
Sorry. Uncle Jimmy sold with a comment like that. I have to see this now.
Yeah, do not read anything.
Yeah, don't.
Do not read anything. Okay. Alan, you saw a film called White Devils.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, this is a movie produced by Robert Meyer Burnett. And he asked me to see it a while ago and help him promote it. But this is just a very weird story. Very much like Bugonia here, in the sense of it just starts with a simple premise and goes weird from there. But so we're in the final days of apartheid in South Africa. We have a couple, Susie and Fricky. And they are living together on this farm. They have a housekeeper, and let's just say they let things go. The farm is not doing well. They're living, barely surviving. Somehow they have a little bit of money to pay for the housekeeper, but they don't even have a toilet. In the beginning of the movie, you see, I believe you see Susie pee in a jar. There's quite a bit of nudity in it because they're engaged in coitus at times, but there's some gray areas around their relationship. They may be related. They may share a mother and father. But so what happens is a lawyer shows up. Their mother dies, and leaving them a large inheritance. And there's certain things they have to do in order to get that inheritance. But because the lawyer arrives late at night. He has to stay with them overnight. And we soon learn the story between Susie and Fricky, that just gets weird, disgusting, and crazy, and I love it. The movie's titled White Devils for a reason. And so, yeah, this is a nice independent film. We've got a crazy story. It's just it's going to make you feel wrong in all the right ways. So I definitely recommend it. That you see a guy hanging there
in the poster.
Yeah, it was
Poster's
revealed.
Great.
It was revealed that this scene was added later, and that may or may not be Robert Meyer Burnett. So.
Oh my God! All right, well, I plan to see it.
Yeah,
it's great. Let's go to some quick comments. Wow!
Whoa! Hey,
holy
now.
shit!
Hey, Doc Hollywood for 199. Happy Halloween, gentlemen. I don't get to catch your live stream very often. I just wanted to show my support on this one. Thank you. Thanks for all you do. Thank you.
Doc Hollywood, that is amazing. That is super generous and appreciated. Come by anytime. Wow. Thank you, Doc Hollywood. Holy shit. The 199 in the house. Thank you. Damn. That's awesome. What's your Halloween costume? We have Alan here as Doom Sum, which has to be accompanied by it's got to be accompanied by a sound effect in order to get the full Doom Sum.
You need a soundboard.
Thank you, Doc Hollywood.
You looking at trying to hunt down clips. Sifax, remember, for 26 months.
Yes.
Happy Halloween, Chris and Alan. Catch ya at Predator next week. Have a good one.
We'll see you there Thursday, Yard House, I assume. That's great. Hey, Alan, you saw a film called Stitchhead that's in theaters in limited release. Tell me about Stitchhead.
Yeah, well, Stitchhead comes to us from Luxembourg. And look, I told you earlier I've been reviewing old Frankenstein movies. Well, this is the Frankenstein movie for kids. Stitchhead is a little creature there at the bottom front of the poster, created by the Doctor. And he was the first attempt at the Doctor creating monsters out of certain body parts, or dead people body parts. And in the background are the rest of the monsters the Doctor has created. Basically, he likes to take animals, put the pieces together, and bring them to life. But the thing is because Stitchhead is the first, he seems to feel forgotten, that the Doctor doesn't really care for him. Never, every time he asks a question, he's ignored. The Doctor seems to be more concerned about his next creation than he is about his first creation. And so poor Stitchhead, feeling depressed, decides to run away and join the circus. And so that's the meat of the story, is when he's at the circus. He runs into the ringmaster, who thinks he has his best interests at heart, until we finally understand that the ringmaster is only exploiting him for his monstrous appearance and wants Stitchhead to become more and more of a monster. And that's kind of the story with kids, or for kids, is that just because you look like a monster doesn't mean you need to be a monster or become a monster, because you don't have to live by what your outer appearance is. Two things. One is, this movie, I wish it was stop motion animated, because it would have looked amazing that way. It comes from Luxembourg, and so I guess they don't have the money, which I understand. But look, if you want to give your kids a Frankenstein story that has a good, wholesome message, Stitchhead is the one for you. Because it's not American, I think its appeal is lessened because it doesn't have kind of the the tropes, the American tropes that come with animation. But this is very much a foreign film, very simple, and I think the jokes are fairly simple. The story is very simple, and the creatures are cute enough that I think kids will like it. So it's definitely a kids movie. Recommend for kids.
Let's go to some quick comments. Holy
hey,
geez.
Hey, KRS10 Entertain Strees.
For 100, happy Halloween. Thank you so much. This is great. We don't normally get I know on FNT and other shows they get $100, $300. We don't get that very often. Thank you, KRS10. Please join as a member. You'll get a lot of extra out of the membership. We do members only videos a lot.
Chelsea M, member for
Thank you.
17 months. Happy Halloween, Alan. Love your costumes.
I love Alan's costume. I like that Alan's costume comes with a sound effect.
And Doom pasties.
And
here. They're right
Cliff,
here.
That's right, Doom pasties. Cliff Derlin became a YouTube member. Thank you. Check out our members only videos. We've got a bunch more stuff to get to, but let's talk about Back to the Future, the re-release. I saw it last night in IMAX, and Back to the Future is a perfect movie. Just straight up, it's a perfect film. Everything about it, even like the great thing about the movie is there's not a line of dialogue wasted. The script, everything is planting seeds. There is a logic. Time travel movies can get convoluted. There's a logic that makes perfect sense. And even the thing that makes no sense whatsoever, the fact that Marty has a photo of his brother and sister and they're fading away, and then he begins to fade away. That doesn't make any sense for the movie, but it does for the story, which of course Ryan Johnson pointed out at a Q&A. But I mean, what can you say? It's the 40th anniversary. I love being able to see the movie in a theater in IMAX. It was formatted for IMAX, not really optimized for IMAX. And I saw it at AMC Burbank 16. The sound was not great. I'm sorry. The sound was not optimized. If you want to see improved sound and image, see the 4DX version of Back to the Future. It's playing in theaters. 4DX, amazing sound optimized, and image is in a 4K. So
for the 40X, why
40X exactly?
Why
40X.
why is it optimized?
I have no idea.
And not IMAX.
Well, there you go. Anyways, in any case, I saw it in IMAX. It was great to see it. It was packed. The theater was packed. Great to see it. It made me realize something I haven't thought about in a while. The sequels for the movie are disappointing. The first movie is a perfect movie. And then what they did, kind of like Sam Raimi did with Evil Dead, they just remade the movie for part 2 and part 3. They redid bits from the movie in part 2 and part 3. And I remember seeing part 2 in a theater, and the way it ended, you're like, how can they resolve this? It's impossible. And they resolve it. But I remember being slightly disappointed for 2 reasons in parts 2 and 3. It's still a beloved trilogy. But parts 2 and 3 redid bits from the original both times. Biff is the villain in both eras, right? And then again, and then the biggest crime is Crispin Glover. He is so good as George McFly in Back to the Future 1. He is so good. I mean, his journey, he has a character arc. Marty has no character arc. He's the same. He just has a better life when he gets back. He doesn't really change. George McFly changes. And Lorraine is so good. I mean, oh my God, in the film, the way she's like, Calvin Klein, he's a dreamboat. Get your meat hooks off of me. I mean, she's amazing. So, but what's sad is for parts 2 and 3, Crispin Glover only wanted to be paid the same as, Mike,
as Tom and Leah. I've heard the interview.
Right, exactly. He just wanted the same. And they didn't offer it to him. So then they replaced him with like a look-alike actor that was upside down with makeup on. It
And
led to
prosthetics from a life mask of Crispin Glover.
exactly. It led to a lawsuit that he won, and deservedly so. But his character being written out because he went through the hero's journey in part 1. For him to be absent in 2 and 3, the absence is felt. Seeing this in the theater again upon re-release with a crowded audience, I know there are people there, my daughter among them, has never seen this movie in a theater before and got to experience it. Was great, but it really reminded me how disappointed I was with parts 2 and 3. It really was. They were disappointments at the time. I'm like, they were fine, they were fun, but we were used to at that time. Sequels never lived up to the original ever. Not Jaws 2, not great. Ghostbusters 2, not great. Back to the Future 2 was fun, but if you look back, the absence of George McFly's character journey, that was the heart of the first Back to the Future. It being absent from 2 and 3 is really felt. So there you go. That's my evaluation. Alan, you don't need to have re-watched it again to render your comment. What do you think of Back to the Future?
No, I think like you, I think Back to the Future is a perfect movie. I remember loving that, seeing it several times in the theaters. I will agree and disagree with you. I think 2 is the weakest. I've probably seen 2 twice. It's just 2 is just this mental gymnastics of how you deal with time travel, which is why I hate time travel and multiverses. But the third movie, I am a big fan of the third movie. I've seen the third movie just as much as I've seen the first movie. Because I do like Westerns. I do like the take that, because there's definitely at the end of 2, as you mentioned, there is that, how the hell are they going to get out of this? And to see them get the hell out of it is, to me, was great. And there, you have to say that 3 and 1 are 2 very different movies. 3 is a Western. Right. Takes place in the Western, uses all the conventions of Westerns, and uses the things that is in Marty's things in the DeLorean to save the day. And I do love the fact that at the end of the movie, the gorge is called Eastwood Gorge.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, the third one is better than the second.
Absolutely.
It's look, from a perfect film to 2 more fun follow-ups, I'll take that. Back to the Future, one of the greatest movies of all time. They don't make movies like this anymore, and it's kind of sad, but I'm glad these re-released films. Look, Back to the Future will be in the top 10 box office this weekend when we talk on Versus on Monday.
Let's be real. The first one could have been a one and done.
Yeah.
And the world would have been fine. Yeah.
Let's go to comments, and we have our interview coming up. We'll get right to our interview.
ML for member 21 months. Back to the Future IMAX near me nearly sold out. Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds like don't go to the IMAX. Just go to a regular or 4DX.
See it however you see it. I don't care. 4DX.
Okay.
And another Adrian for 200. Happy Halloween, everyone. Got my ticket to see Back to the Future on Monday. Haven't seen it from start to finish in years. Can't wait. Bring your friends, bring your family, and you will have a great time. That's awesome.
Again, there's generations.
Thank you for that. So generous. That's amazing.
Yeah. Solomon Thornton, Back to the Future will always be top 5 for me.
Well, thank you for that, Solomon. Appreciate it. Hey, you know what we like to do. We love indie filmmakers here at Film Thread, and we like to talk to them about their work. We have the filmmakers from the documentary, The Spirit of Halloweentown here. Perfect timing. It's Halloween. Let's talk to them about their movie. Hey, how's it going, gentlemen? Happy Halloween.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Bradford, Thomason, and Brett Whitcomb, the directors of The Spirit of Halloweentown.
Yeah,
Tell
I've got to
us-
say, when I read the title of your movie, I thought it was a completely different documentary.
Yes. Well,
That's
tell
fair.
us about the doc. And I want to show the trailer because I want people to see the trailer.
Yeah. It's started with Halloween was kind of the genesis for us. We wanted to make a doc about Halloween. We found this town that transforms itself every year because a Disney Channel movie was filmed there in 1998. We thought that was cool, and kind of really couldn't believe it that it had become such a phenomenon there. But our goal was to go and sort of meet the people who live there and the people who sort of endure it, basically, who have to kind of deal with it every year and sort of how it impacts their lives. And so we try to tell that story.
Yeah, and then how did you get cooperation from the town? And importantly, did you get cooperation from Disney?
We don't need that because we didn't really. It's not about the movie, really. It's just the Halloweentown part of it is the kind of the entry point for us. It was like when we found that a town completely transforms itself after this Disney movie left, that movie was such a phenomenon and it impacted so many people of a certain age that they just wanted to go stand by the city hall or the pumpkin and see the taxi and be in that spot. It's kind of like if, I don't know, it's so special to them. So once Brad found an article about it and we started researching and calling people from the town, they were so welcoming and they were so like energetic. It had that energy of the kinds of docs that we like to make, like super passionate people about that are really into something, like they pour their whole life into something. And when we found them, it was like, talk to them on the phone, go visit them. And it was like, there's so many threads here that we can follow that we just kind of dove in.
Well, let's take a look at the trailer for the movie. And I think you'll get a taste of what it's about. Let's watch it here.
We were just watching the movie one day, and he says, I want to go to Halloweentown someday. And I go, it's a real place.
The event is called Spirit of Halloweentown. It basically honors the movie.
Welcome to Halloweentown.
Look at all of your beautiful faces.
I'd never seen Halloweentown, and to be honest, I didn't even know about Halloweentown. And what I saw in the film were children going against their parents and sneaking to a special town in another dimension where everyone can be their true selves.
It comes from making people happy.
I am putting together a little performance.
And you dress up like zombies with
Yeah,
blood and goo and brains.
Yep.
Awesome.
When you're standing back here and people walk in, they just freak out. Kids actually start crying like crazy about the time they get here, and then they have to go out our emergency exit door.
There's an element in town that does not like Halloweentown.
When you're celebrating the devil's birthday, it's a holy day set apart for celebrating the saints. So he's mocking God, by, this Halloween.
This is where I was haunted by the old man. I had this mental sense that someone was coming up behind me to push me down the stairs.
I can see somebody falling through that floorboard. Yeah.
Is there anybody here? Did you die in this room?
The spirits of Halloweentown. I want to invite them into our circle. Can you make a noise? We are not here to harm you. We want to communicate with you. We believe in you.
And that's why we love Halloween. Tell me what went into the making of the film.
We went to St. Helens, and the festival goes on for a full month. So we just spent every day there really kind of, I mean, we had an idea of who we were going to talk to and sort of some narrative threads that we wanted to follow, but we really floated around. Most of the time it was me and Brett, and and we had a producer with us sometimes, but a lot of times it was the two of us floating around and just kind of seeing where narrative threads took us, where stories took us. Things would happen as we were filming, and we would be like, well, that's an interesting story, let's just follow it. And I think that's the kind of film it is. You get on its wavelength and you just kind of allow it to take you where it goes.
What were the discussions like regarding building the narrative structure of the documentary? Because I have to believe that you really didn't have it until you had everything, or did you have an idea where the documentary was going while you were filming it?
You mean with shooting
the
scenes
structure
and then building?
of the film?
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, I can answer that. Yeah, because it's like we would shoot scenes. Of course, we had some ideas, and we have like, for example, there's a character in the film who's choreographing a cheer performance, and we knew in a very basic way that sort of the build up to that, and then the performance itself, and then the things that unfold through that process were a narrative. But day to day, you're just shooting scenes and you're capturing scenes. And we'd go back, we'd have scenes on note cards. Sometimes I'd cut scenes the night we shot just to get it together and see how it feels. And then eventually we'd have a wall full of note cards with every scene. And, it's just kind of like arrangement and shuffling around and trying to fill out where the climactic points are, where the act breaks might be and stuff like that. And yeah, so with this film and with Jasper Mall, which was more slice of life observational like this, it's really about capturing scenes and then figuring out how they play into a larger narrative.
I would imagine this was easier than Jasper Mall.
This easier?
Yeah.
No,
was it?
No, Jasper Mall was like, every time we brought a camera there, it was like something amazing happened. It was like the ratio of like footage, is way higher for like hits in Jasper Mall. Like we would just hang out in the food court and see something, everyone was down to film, and it was like that was different.
Oh, wow.
Which is surprising for a dead mall, but Halloweentown's more chaotic too, right? So there's so many things happening around you at once that it's whereas the mall, it's like there's like a steady hum to it all, and you kind of can tune into it.
And we had rules like we would never leave the mall in the movie.
Right.
Hey, we've got a lot of questions from our audience here. Let's put them up on screen. Here we go. Alan?
Yeah, Patrick Lemire. This is why the industry has to leave Hollywood. Movies are still magic to the non-jaded.
Yep.
Yeah, movies are magic to us.
Yeah. ADL's 24. What is the town's relationship with Disney, the Disney film like? Do they embrace it, or are they sick of the association with the film instead of their efforts to be truly a Halloweentown?
I think they like, it's like half and half. Like if it wasn't there, they wouldn't have this economy of like hotels and eating, and like people that own things in that town they're doing well from this, and the coffee shops, and there's a really cool thrift store that has old horror movies and stuff there. So I think, and then there's the people that live right behind it that are pissed off, like it's like some people, because there were like 50,000 people for the, the parade and the lighting. That's a lot. That they closed down the streets. It's a whole thing. So I think, if you like that, you'd love it. And you're like, it's amazing. And if you are not super into it, then it's annoying.
All right. Chelsea M., do any of the actors from the movie show up to the town's festivities?
They definitely do. Yeah, they're not in our film, but I think this year, or every year that we were kind of keeping our eyes on Halloweentown, the years we were there, different people from the movies came, for sure. They do that.
They'll do autograph signings and take pictures, and then they'll even play the movie in the the theater. So the city works with booking and hiring them. We just wanted the entry point of the we were so much more interested in the town and the people than the necessarily the movie, how this got like this.
All right. And from Nerd Far Away, hail Mr. Thomason and Mr. Whitcomb. How much of the original set pieces still exist in Halloweentown?
Well, a lot of the buildings that are in Halloween Town that you see in the background, like City Hall and other buildings that are in the film, they're buildings that just exist in the square there. So the facades are all there, and even like I think the mayor's office in the film is intact, and they're actually letting people tour it this year. So, set pieces that were built for the film, I don't think any of them are there. The town does pull out a pumpkin and put it in the square to sort of replicate what that was like, which is really cool.
And here's a last question here as we wrap up.
Yeah, ADLS wants to know, would you be interested in taking this documentary structure to another town that embraces holidays like Christmas or the 4th of July?
Yeah, it's like you've got a format for a documentary series.
It's kind of a similar question for Jasper Mall. It's like, why don't we go to another mall and do the same thing?
Right.
It's sure, but like,
Yeah.
how about if Netflix gives us $2 million, we'll do it.
Yeah, there you go.
Done.
I wish. Well, hey, Brad and Brett, thank you so much. Happy Halloween to you both. I appreciate you coming on. Now, you didn't come on in costume. Where's your costumes?
I wore a Rockstar Explosion shirt because I think, a Film Threat was like the first review we ever got for our first movie. So I tried something.
Was it Slam Dance? I think that's where we saw it.
I can't even
Jasper Mall was at Slam Dance.
Yeah, I think that's where we saw it.
Was it Austin Film Festival?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
we
so
forgot
much.
to ask the important question, but how do we see?
Oh, yeah. How do we see Halloween Town? The documentary.
It's on Amazon Prime and iTunes and Google and YouTube, all to rent or buy right now. So
Okay,
go check it out.
Spirit of Halloweentown, VOD, rent or buy. Perfect time to do it on Halloween. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Have a happy Halloween.
You too. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
And real quick, before we get our next guest on here, Joseph Kahn, waiting patiently in the background. Patient. I want to remind people tonight, that's right, on Halloween tonight, we have a Halloween watch party, which you can participate in. We are going to show The Quantum Devil. You can watch the movie. That's right. It's a Quantum Devil watch party with Larry Wade Carroll, the director. The cast from all over the world will be here. We're starting these once a month now. You can watch the movie and the cast will be there. And there's a warning. I'm giving a warning right now. There is nudity, but we did blur it out because Alan complained.
Yes.
So we will watch our Halloween watch party on Halloween tonight, I believe 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Maybe when you come back from your Halloween festivities, put it on and enjoy.
And what's great is it's not a second screen experience. The movie.
Yeah, you're actually going to get to see the movie, The Quantum Devil, without the nudity, unfortunately. But there you go. Hey, Ick is a film that came to theaters and somehow I missed it. But wow, after seeing this film, blown away by this movie. And the filmmaker Joseph Kahn is here with us. Straight from, I guess he went to the premiere of Running Man the other night. I saw him like hanging out at some big premiere. I didn't realize what a huge hotshot Joseph is, directing music videos. Anyways, we are honored to have him here today to join us to tell him about Ick is a perfect movie for Halloween. Let's talk to director Joseph Kahn. Hey, Joseph.
Hey, Joseph.
Hi.
Dude, it's great to meet you, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Great to be here, and thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Like you interacted with, I think it was Matt Walsh's tweet, and you just had a really smart comment about it. We talked about your comment on our Versus show, like not knowing. And then I saw you're following me. I think I followed you, or I was, I don't know. Anyways, we connected And I don't know, you just have really good insight. I think you're I mean, I don't know much about you personally. I think you're a normal sexual.
Yeah, I'm a normal sexual. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You're just a normal, regular dude with your takes are very like just rooted in common sense. And I love following you on social media and learning about your career. I mean, amazing. You want to talk before we talk about Ick, give your website, unbelievable. You have worked with some amazing people. I'm going to share your website's out of date. That's the only thing I'm going to say is it's josephkahn.com. But tell us your early career here.
I started in Texas back in the 90s. And you know, the funny thing is, I remember seeing, I was a big film nerd, and I remember seeing Film Threat in, you know, the bookstores, the magazine, and all that stuff. And, you know, I bought a couple issues back then. And, you know, I was just trying to figure out how to break into movies, because that's what I really wanted to do. But remember, this is before the internet. This is before cell phones. This is before Google, before any of that stuff. So the entire idea of going from Texas into movies was like just completely impossible. It was like a complete fantasy. I went to NYU Film School, but I really couldn't afford it. I could afford about a year of it, and I had to drop out. So I did what I thought was the most pragmatic thing to do. Was like, I'd heard stories about Robert Rodriguez back then making a film for $10,000, but he had to sell his body to do it. You know, so
yeah.
I wasn't really willing to go into like someplace for 6 months. And there's no way I was going to raise $10,000, but I could raise $2,500 with my mom's Discover card, you know, and rent a bunch of things. And I made a music video. I made it for like $2,500. And, you know, I went around New York saying, you know, hire me. I'm Joseph Kahn. I have this video. And every record company turned me down. I was back in Texas. I was in $30,000 debt. I had $2,500 on my mom's credit card. My mom's a waitress, by the way. We cannot afford to do this. So I thought I was really screwed. So I went and started working in movie theaters and odd jobs. Like I was an auditor at a grocery store. Like, you know, you go after the close and you count all the cans and stuff. Like, it was awful work. But eventually I saved up $500, opened up a business account, read a bunch of books, and went around Texas offering my wares as a music video director. And eventually I got some gangster rappers to give me some money. And before I knew it, within a year, I was like the gangster rap guy and knew nothing about gangster rap. And worked my way up through there. It was basically like, you know, like when Koreans open up like alcohol convenience stores in the middle of the hood. I was doing that with, you know, filmmaking. So,
how'd you get to like work with Taylor Swift and Jennifer Lopez on your website?
Well, it happened, you know, I think it happened pretty fast. I think I started my first video in 93, and then I moved to LA in 95. And then within 2 years, I was doing like $1 million videos. But it was like really weird because I never was the guy that like you as a director, you're supposed to like isolate and become like the rap director, this director, you know, whatever you're supposed to know for that. And I was just this jack of all trades, just trying to find different things. And the funny thing, my career was always different because most directors would like be like the A-list guy. And I was always like the B guy. Like I would be the second choice of every video, but I always felt like if I got that video, I'd try to make their best video ever. So I was like the second choice of everybody's thing. But I just started assembling these videos over a course of like 30 years. And here's the thing. After 35 years, everybody thinks, oh, his reel is amazing and all this stuff. But think about it. You know, maybe about 10, 20 videos of mine, but that's maybe one good video a year. You know, the rest of the year, you're like just slaving away, just trying to make anything, you know? So it's like, my career is definitely like timed, you know, it's timed. It's like you're just trying to do as much stuff as possible. And then every once in a while, you get to make that hit video, you know, but it's definitely a story of persistence.
And I know you made other films. I really want to show the trailer.
Sure.
Because our producer, Atomic Lori, saw the trailer. She's like, I'm renting that movie to watch on Halloween. And there's I obviously I saw it. I'm telling you, there is more to this horror film. It's so unique. So I'm going to share the trailer with everyone here. We're probably going to get hit for music. You got great music for the trailer, by the way.
We have the rights to the thing. So it's like, they should be allowed.
Well, we'll get hit, but I don't care. Check out this trailer. We're going to watch it together.
It holds 10 songs. I put all our favorites on it.
Promise me you'll take me with you to NFL to a giant mansion with a giant pool that has a fat hot tub that's connected to the giant pool so I can swim from hot to cold whenever I want.
Yes. I love you, Stacy. Just takes a second.
Did you see Charlie's TikTok about how the egg is pure gluten?
What's gluten? The egg is just fried good food GMO set free from Monsanto lab. That's why I only eat organic.
Mr. Wallace, why are we talking about the ick?
Okay, Grace. Let's talk about the ick.
After decades in stasis, the intracellular clinoplasm known as ick has reached its kinetic state. Barricade your doors and your windows. Stop up your sinks and your drains. Again, do not go outside.
Our kids can still go to prom tomorrow, right?
Yeah, you should definitely cancel prom.
False flag! Crisis actor!
Grace, I need to tell you something. I might be your dad.
Shit!
Next joint is for all the lovers out there. This is the song your parents conceived you to. Maybe the rubber broke. Maybe there was no rubber.
Ick is harmless. Ick sees our value. We chose. For those it does not value, it consumes.
Run! Arm yourselves, whatever you can carry. Get ready for a fight! Come on.
You could have just opened it. I mean, that was super dramatic and all, but now we have to crawl over broken glass.
Dude, this is okay. I have to know. I mean, the story is, first of all, it starts out like almost like a teen coming of age comedy, kind of fun teen movie. It slowly turns horror, comedy horror. And what's weird is it's not like a monster shows up. It's there, evolving, and people react to it differently. I feel for this film, you were saying more. It's not a simple monster movie. There is way more to it. And I feel like you skewer both sides of the political spectrum equally. And I mean, no one is safe from criticism or jokes. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. I mean, the ick could be described as something else. People react to the ick differently. It's this almost like starts as a weed that's like, it's in the way, but whatever. And then gets worse. Is this what you were thinking when you made the film? Like,
yeah, I mean, I wanted to, I mean, let's start from the beginning. I wanted to make kind of a throwback thing to the Amblin films that I loved as a kid, but you can't do that as a 1-to-1 ratio. It doesn't translate. Because if you ever see some of these kids today when they watch those movies, they think they're too slow or, right. It's like, you've got to alter it. And there's a lot of differences between 80s and 2020s culture,
Right.
But one of the things I was thinking is like, all those monster movies in the past were predicated on one idea. It's like, what if a monster came to your town? What would happen, right? And so King Kong would come in and blast things away. Godzilla would come in, like even the Blob, they could be metaphors for communism or whatever you wanted to be back then. But essentially the whole thing was, what if they came to your town? Well, I think in the modern day, we know what happens when they come to your town. We've seen the monster, whether it's COVID or 9/11 or whatever. People essentially freak out, they get impacted. But look at 9/11. 2 weeks later, everything went back on. People were joking about it and then debating about it, and then couldn't even agree on why it was there or who did it. And to this day, I mean, I think, like, for instance, the voters of New York today, like the vast majority of them don't even remember 9/11.
Yeah.
So it's the monster. When they come, we ignore it. And the funny thing is, I think one of the biggest criticisms I have about this movie is that people say, well, people would never react as they do in this movie, where you would just ignore the monster. I'm like, really? I think that's probably one of the most realistic things about the movie.
It is. It really is like, while it is kind of like, and it's super fast paced. I mean, that first 10 minutes of the movie is it's insane the way it moves. It's so quick in its storytelling. Brandon Routh, I think this is the best thing he's done.
Wow.
He is so good in the film. Like, he is underutilized. I mean, in other movies, unbelievable. He's so good. And you're right. Like, crazy, horrible things happen in the world, and life moves on. And it deals with that.
Yeah, and and the thing is, I'm not being super judgmental about it, because part of it might be a survival instinct, frankly.
Right?
Can you really wallow and worry about things, or do you have to move? Does life move on, or is it ignorance? I mean, to me, like, when I make a movie, I'm not trying to give you answers. I'm just throwing questions in the air. Like, you should not be asking me for answers. I'm a filmmaker. What do I know?
Yeah, no. Hollywood used to be like that. They used to like say, here's something to think about. Now they kind of push agendas, I feel.
Yeah, and I think people want me to give answers, and I keep saying, please don't ask me for answers. That's not my function. I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. What I can do is make some funny jokes and throw some questions in the air and have some fun looking at it. But I don't know when it turned into Joseph has to be the sage of everything. Like, dude, I never asked for that,
Well, that's the thing, is when you ask, when your audience is asking questions, that means they're engaged in your film. That they're just not passively watching, but they're thinking about what you're bringing, the themes and the questions you're bringing about. The question I have to ask you is, how did you transition from music videos to film, and who is your casting director? Because you're getting some big names in your movies.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, okay, the first part of it, how did I transition from movies to music videos to movies? Well, I transitioned years ago on a movie called Torque. And it bombed. I don't know if it really bombed. That's the reputation. At the end of the day, that whole weird residual structure that they give when movie does. And I know directors that have directed movies and they get nothing. Torque keeps giving me checks, so I know somehow in that Warner Brothers system that thing is profitable. Otherwise, I wouldn't see a dime off it. But at the time when it came out, So what I did is I made like this sort of piss take of the Fast and Furious. And people thought I was making a serious movie, Like, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I have this scene where there's like a person's in front of a Pepsi sign, another person's in front of Mountain Dew sign, and they start fighting. Well, that's obviously a joke, but people thought like Pepsi and Mountain Dew are like actually selling stuff. Anyways, what ended up happening is it tanked my career in movies. And when you make one film in Hollywood, they put you in what's called director jail. So I've been in director jail for essentially 25 years now. So, but what the great thing about Torque is that I went through the process of making a big Hollywood movie, and I got to reverse engineer it. I saw how they structured it. I saw how they, scheduled it. I saw how they hired things. I saw how the post-production process happened. So I just took all that information. And I started making my own independent movies using that particular process. Because like, as much as they tell you in film school how you make movies, they really don't know. But film school doesn't know anything about like how these movies are made. And even as a video director, because I'd done hundreds of videos before I did Torque, like, that's not making movies. It's like movies are a completely different thing. Like, when you work with an artist, they're trusting you. When you work with an actor, they don't want to do the things you want to do, and you have to convince them. And then they have agents that call you up and managers, and this whole weird political process I had no idea about. But I learned how to do that, and so that's when I started funding my movies myself. I would actually just put my own money into it, and every one of my movies have been a combination of my cash and some investors, and this is no different. I originally wrote this one to be done at Netflix or a studio, and I was like, give me like $50 to $100 million, and I can do this movie. But COVID happened, But this was written before COVID, by the way, and I said, I can't wait around. I can't wait for Hollywood to put its act together. So I raised the money myself. I got $5 million and made this movie. Yeah.
Wow. Well, let me just say, even though it was written before COVID, watching it, it very much feels like it's commenting on two ends of the spectrum on how people saw COVID. That could just be me reading into it, but I really love your take. It's not preachy at all, but a lot of people get made fun of for stupid stuff, and deservedly so in the movie. It's funny. So just amazing.
Well, we threw in a couple COVID jokes. I mean, obviously, because it's the elephant in the room that when you make a movie like this, but it was not written as a COVID allegory in the beginning.
Right.
It's an overall monster, and there could be 9/11, could be anything, you know.
We have a ton of questions for you, and I would not be doing my job if I didn't remind people you did that Power Rangers video that went viral.
I did.
That I remember watching that. People went, I'm like, I'm not a fan of Power Rangers. I saw what you did, and I want to see that now. What can you tell a little bit about that? And then we'll go to questions from our audience.
I did that in an angry period of my life, you know, because I've been kicked out of Hollywood for about 15, 20 years. I did another movie called Detention. And it was another movie I thought was going to do really well, but it was my own personal money. It's now a cult movie. Like, people really love it or they really hate it, which is pretty much the standard for all my movies at this point, you know. But I do make my movies very earnestly. I believe in what I'm doing, and I'm truly trying to entertain myself on a first level, you know. And I was just angry that people were like, again, saying, "Oh, he sucks. He's a terrible director." And more importantly, it wasn't necessarily the fans of movies. I don't really blame audiences. You either connect with them or you don't. It was the industry that was like, "Fuck you, Joseph. You can't be part of this sandbox that we have." So I said, "Okay, well, I see what you guys are doing. You're making these IPs and turning them into, like, you know, big movies. I'm going to take an IP that you guys are making and that I know you're about to make, and I'm going to be the Osama bin Laden and take that IP and crash it into a plane, crash into a building." Like, I literally went in to sabotage Hollywood and just sort of like do a terrorist strike. So I took some money and I made this short over 7 days, and I took about a year post to do it. And I released it on the internet. But I did it in a way that I know they couldn't do it. Like, they want violence, I'll give them violence. You know, they want sex, I'll give them sex. But I'm going to do it on a way that they can't do it. I'll make the impossible version. I'll do the NC-17 version that's so violent, so everything, that they can never ever touch this thing. And hopefully people will, like, love it, you know. And so it happened. Like, I released it, and within 24 hours had 20 million hits. And then they actually called me to see if I wanted to do the Power Rangers movie, and I said no. You know, so
it would have been great if you could do it on your terms. We have so many questions and comments. Fun with collecting. Torque was a lot of fun. Not a bomb in my book.
Thank you.
That's great. That's great. Lord Thoth, High Octane, and Razorburn. I'm sold. And here we go. Comment here. Alan, if you could take over.
Yeah, A.D. Ellis, if you could expand one of your music videos into a full-length feature, what would it be?
I did a video for Muse called Knights of Sidonia. You have to check it out. It's kind of like this trauma level thing where it's like they're on Mars, but they're cowboys and they do kung fu and they're battling. But I shot it in Eastern Europe, so I decided to distinctly put Eastern European things into it, like little nesting dolls for no reason at all, and use old super technology like CDs, you know, even though they were already on the way out. That would be a really badass, fun version of it where I could just go buck wild. I would love to make that into a feature film.
All right, ADLS24, not to be hyperbolic, but you're very likely the most influential music video director of all time. What are the skills you learned on most from directing in that medium, and when it comes to features? So what do you bring? Would you learn from making all these videos that you brought to features?
The hardest part of music videos is that whenever you do a music video, the industry is so completely different. Like, the record industry is all about finding the new thing. If they even remotely sniff that it's like another video, they're like, don't do that. Like, because their specialty is what's the new. That's all they want. So they treat filmmaking from that perspective, where they want the thing, 5 minutes in the future. And when I start hitting studio films, they want what's been already tested. They don't want to do the new thing. If there's a new thing, you got to get consensus with everyone. It's a whole different process. So if anything, I've learned through music videos, there is this interesting fine line between two forms of thinking about filmmaking. They're the people that want the new and the people that want the old. It's very hard to balance that too, So in my past, on all my films, I've always just gone for the new, and I know that there's going to be people that want the past and kind of reject the new, whether it's the pacing or the editing or the concept or whatever. But I also believe that there are true film fans out there that are experimental, that do like the history of film, but also want to go someplace new. So I consciously decided to make that. I think what I've learned more than anything is that language is malleable. The film techniques keep changing. And I, as a filmmaker, whenever I make anything, have to decide who am I speaking to and what language am I speaking, you know? So up to this point, I've distinctly have made things for a very specific audience. In the future, I might tone it down and try to get more 4-quadrant, if you will, you know? But right now, because I'm in the independent space and I can do whatever I want, I'm doing whatever I want, you know?
Jason Delgado says, Ick is so much fun. I enjoyed reviewing it for FT. It's a fresh score, so that'll help you on Rotten Tomatoes.
Thank you. I really need that.
All right, Solomon Thornton. Greetings, Sir Joseph. I just looked up your movie and it's listed as horror sci-fi, which is the best way to merge those two genres and keep the story feeling fresh.
Well, I will say it's really not horror sci-fi. It's more comedy horror sci-fi. And the comedy is really the predominant thing. And it's kind of a hard thing to market because when you say comedy, people think Naked Gun or, you know, they have a very specific idea of comedy. I'm tonally comedic, but I'm taking the emotions seriously, you know? So it's kind of a rom-com, then mixed in with the horror sci-fi elements. It's a hard thing to market. So as a film, it's kind of an easy thing to do because you're just writing a script and you're keeping it toned and you're trying to keep, you know, the serious part serious and the funny part's funny. But I will say that as filmmakers, guys, if you try to do what I'm doing, it's the hardest thing in the world to market because people want to place things in boxes and they're like, well, is this a comedy or is this horror? Is this sci-fi? And it's the film itself can exist, but the way it's sold is you just make it 10,000 times more difficult for yourself.
Did they used to tell you that you need to let people know that you just told a joke? And
Here's a good question.
All right, so question. This has good monster vibes like Tremors or The Blob. Are you a fan of monster movies? Fan of Godzilla by chance?
Yes, I love monster movies. That's what I started with. In fact, before I was even a filmmaker, before it even came into my mind, I remember as an elementary school student, like I'm talking about the early 80s, there were these orange books. They were like orange covers, and it was like King Kong would be on the cover and Godzilla would be on the cover. And I used to just look at those constantly because those movies weren't that scary. That's the thing. Like it was like the type of scary movies that like, you know, 8-year-olds could watch and stuff like that. And that's one of the things that I really want to do. I was like, where is this monster movie that's scary, but it's not scary enough that, like 10 or 12-year-olds or teenagers watch? Because the state of horror today is so gruesome. Like it's either Terrifier or super body horror or like super adult stuff like The Substance. And where's the starter horror? Where's the stuff that when I was a kid, the Gremlins and, you know, and things of that nature, even the Blob was great from the Chuck Russell version, but even that was a little scarier than I wanted to make in this movie. I genuinely wanted to make a movie that for like kids, you know, and adults, it's like a Pixar movie, you know, where it's the adults can get one thing out of it and the kids can get something else. And I really want to make that. And also, if you look at the monster movies, they're not really monster movies anymore, guys. I'm sorry. They're superhero movies because what do these do? They just punch each other. You know, they're just big, overgrown superheroes that eventually get into fights. And I didn't want to make a fighting movie. I generally want to make a horror movie where these things are chasing you. But how do you do that in a way that you don't disturb the minds of young kids and something that maybe a whole family can watch together? I mean, that was my innocent attempt at this.
Well,
you're of this age, but what did you think of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
I mean, it was fantastic. I mean, I loved all those, like everything that you could get on a little VHS box back in the day, just with a cool thing. I used to watch like crazy, you know, even if they weren't good, it was still like the mystery of getting into it, you know, and you didn't know what type of movie you were getting. Because remember, like it wasn't like a connected online world back then. You just took a chance on the poster, you know? So I wanted the Ick poster to look like that too. Like, you know what you're going to get, but, you know, go in there and get that mystery. That sort of pure discovery of filmmaking is part of what I made this movie for.
Yeah. And also there's a great Blob reference in the film.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Oliver LeVery Farag for $4.99. How did you reconcile that angry part of your life into making feature films. The new film looks really cool.
Okay, so I was in an angry state, but here I'm not an angry person. Okay, I generally try to keep things positive, and I think one of the most important things is to always register things from a positive point of view. Like I don't really want to dwell on the negative side of filmmaking. People can always go, "Woe is me," and I got screwed, and people are making bad reviews about you or saying bad things. But that's life, guys. Not everyone's gonna like you. And we're not all going to get the things that we want out of life. I wanted to be Steven Spielberg. I'm not Steven Spielberg, but I'm Joseph Kahn now, and ultimately I think you just have to be honest with what you're trying to do and whether it's small or big. Look, and here's the thing, some of my movies lose money and things like that. And not everything I do is successful, but as long as I'm having fun doing it and other people out there see the fun, that's more important than necessarily the critical whatever it is. It's just about sort of believing in your particular art and making sure that it's pure and it's good. And also I feel like I'm not making negative stuff either, so I'm not wallowing in people getting ripped apart and all that weird stuff. I'm just not into. I'm just trying to keep it simple and cool and positive and hopefully entertaining for people. And that makes me happy.
Yeah, Nerd Faraway asks, "Hail, Mr. Kahn. I assume you're a fan of 80s and 90s music. Favorite band?"
Okay, so I am 100% an 80s kid. And I genuinely think the 80s were the most amazing time to grow up.
Well, that was the birth of music videos, too.
It was. And that's how actually I learned how to speak English. I was born in Korea, and then we lived in Italy for a while. And then I moved in 79 to America. And I didn't really have a lot of friends, but I had films. So I learned how to speak through films. I think I basically have a California accent, even though I grew up in Texas, because, that's the way it was. And I remember seeing MTV, and that was the way I was introduced to music. Like my first rock and roll song I ever had was Joan Jett's I Love Rock and Roll. I saw that through a music video. And so I was just addicted to music videos and pop culture and Americana. And I really fell in love with the concept of America. It was it was truly a magical time. It was pop culture dominant. And so my favorite 80s band, look, this will tell you where my mind was. It was everyone from Michael Jackson to Madonna to Metallica to industrial bands like Ministry and Nine Inch Nails. I absorbed it all. I loved it all. I still to this day love it all. I don't love necessarily the pop culture now. I don't really understand mumble rap and all that stuff, but that sort of pop explosion of the 80s, I still love.
It was magical. I'm also an 80s kid.
And the movies, come on. The summer of 82, my childhood when I was 10 to 12 to 13, it was Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was Poltergeist. It was Conan the Barbarian. It was Blade Runner. It was Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. It was The Empire Strikes Back. It was Temple of Doom. It was Gremlins. It was Back to the Future. I mean, you cannot beat the childhood of the 80s. And plus having no phone, no computer, you went around on your bikes, the mystery of hooking up and hanging out with other kids, going off into the woods, going to your 7-Eleven playing Pac-Man. What an insane childhood. That's why I think I'm so happy. That's why, because I had the best childhood.
Yeah. Very similar for me as well. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, MK Solid. Joseph, how do you feel about the downfall of the TRL days and the death of MTV?
I think I'm sad about the death of monoculture. And monoculture sounds negative, but it's what really kept us together as Americans,
Yes.
When you're a child of the 80s, you really did believe in heroes. You believed in the heroic nature of the United States. You believed in the heroic nature of the American people. You believed that everyone could become American. You just had to love America, give the flag allegiance, and you would all just get together and then celebrate this sort of unity of pop culture. It was like this fusion, pop culture is popular culture all come together. And then when I started doing my videos and I got my shot at it in the 90s, I started in a role of gangster rap and grunge, right? And I like those two things. I didn't really like gangster rap as much. I did like grunge, but it was kind of very bifurcated. And then they started pitching me, because I became a successful gangster rap video director. They started pitching me white artists. They said were like R&B artists. But I would look at these artists like Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys and go, they're not gangster rappers or like sex guys. They're like little pop stars. And so I started trying to make videos like the ones that I watched in the 80s. I was literally trying to make my own Michael Jacksons, my own George Michaels, you know, and that type of. So that's when I did those videos. That's what, and then they all did really well on TRL. But that was a conscious decision by me to bring back the 80s into late 90s work. And I still do that. Like my last big artist I did was Taylor Swift, and that was still me trying to do my Michael Jackson videos through her, you know? So I've always been a big proponent of the grand American pop culture moment, you know? But now it's different because the audience is so split. The audience now has, and I see it in the record. I remember like I did a video for Cisco Thong Song, right? And I was like, okay, he's my Michael Jackson. And then I remember specifically saying he was going like, you know, this is too pop and I've got to become more urban and ghetto after this, you know? And then he set up the video really well. And it seemed like he was about to pop and become Michael Jackson. And then he purposely pulled himself back. And I see that happen a lot in the business, you know, because people want to retain these little sort of separations. And I think that's so sad. And so now it's like, if you look at the world, it's just completely separate. Everyone has these little pockets of their own little worlds and stuff like that. And there's no sort of commonality, and that's sad because I'd rather celebrate what we have in common than what we have in different, you know?
Yeah, well,
when I grew up, I was a new kid in a rich white neighborhood, and the thing that made friends for me was Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, we all had the Star Wars comic books, trading cards, everything, and that's.
I mean, that was the thing. I was a huge comic book nerd, and so like, yeah, we may be different races from different cultures and everything, but once you got into Spider-Man is Spider-Man, and we all like connected, and we all went to comic book conventions, and we'd all be different things. It was a big connector, you know. And now it's so sad because now we try to split Spider-Man into 10 different like genders and 10 different races, and it becomes more about, you know, catering and dividing. And that's why TRL doesn't exist anymore. That's why MTV doesn't exist and all these things, because we are so focused on our differences. And that is so sad. We should be focusing as human beings, connecting with each other. And what do we have in common? That's what I care about.
And if you want more smart commentary like this, you should follow Joseph on social media. Your X account is on fire. And second only to Alan Ing, I would say my pal Al. He's also...
Mine is snarky.
Yes, a little snarky. Yeah. And here we go. JTPRX, you did Thong Song. You're awesome. Never for 37 months. And Pilgrim Media for 2. Do you always shoot with Black Magic cameras?
I don't shoot with Black Magic cameras a lot. I shoot them for second unit in certain shots and stuff like that. I you know, here's the thing. Cameras don't matter, you know, at the end of the day. Some people are like, you know, you got to shoot on film. You got to shoot on red. You got to shoot on that. That's not what filmmaking is. Filmmaking is not a camera. Filmmaking are ideas. Filmmaking for me, more important, is what's the blocking, what's the editing, what's the lighting, what are the things doing, and what are they emoting, you know? And I feel like sometimes people use filmmaking grain as this sort of wall of separation where, you know, like it looks like a movie, therefore you must respect it as a movie. I think true cinema has nothing to do with that. It is just literally a series of emotions and visuals and sounds and ideas that go in your body and into your heart and into your brain. And the delivery system of whatever technique you're doing or whatever camera it is so unimportant. I mean, it is important. Trust me, I'm a technical freak on some levels, but I do know that like that whether I shoot it on a Black Magic camera or a red or a Alexa or film, that's not going to matter as much as what I'm actually shooting.
Wow. And I'll just say this: next time you make a movie, please come to us to help let people know about it, because our audience is really dedicated to finding things that are off the mainstream beaten path. And on that note, I have 2 questions related we can wrap up with here. Alan, if you would.
American Remnant. This was already in theaters. Dang, where can I see it now?
And Oliver says,
is it available internationally?
Yeah.
Guys,
So,
I know this sounds awful. I don't really know the state of distribution on it. I do know that it is out in pay-per-view. You can rent it, you can buy it, and stuff like that. It's not streaming in the United States. I think in England it's streaming on something over there. These salespeople are off doing their thing, and I don't know, but all I can do is just sort of let people be aware of it, and the chips fall where they may. It's a hard world to get any movie up because there's thousands and thousands of independent movies being made. So all I can do is just get my word out as to the distribution. I'm sure we'll get streaming at some point, and hopefully that's when it'll really connect with the audience it's meant for, because kids don't like rent movies. They don't have the money for it. They don't have their parents' credit card. They just wait for it to get on some streaming station. And I suspect once it gets into the streaming world and the 13, 14, 15-year-olds finally see it, it will explode. But right until then, I'm just biding my time, just trying to get it out there and make sure that I don't get too many bad reviews from, some person that hates the speed of it or something,
Well, I love the speed of it. It is really for kids that are on TikTok will love this because the pace is, it moves. It's crazy. And also, this is a movie that will get discovered. When it hits streaming, people will, have you heard of this? The Ick, you got to see Ick. So I'm telling you, it's going to have a life once it gets there.
And by the way, not to scare anyone off, I think it'll be too fast for some people, but that doesn't mean if you're past a certain age, you won't be able to follow. I think there's plenty of people. I've been at film festivals where people in their 60s still love it. It's just a matter of how your brain is calibrated. Some people are just faster at processing information than others. Some people stay eternally young. Chris, I think you are.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be there. It's not going to be for everyone. If you don't like fast movies, don't waste your money. It's fast, but I don't think it's going to be negative for a lot of people. I think for the most part, I think young people will like it. I think a lot of mid people, I think people in their 40s will probably really dig the nostalgia of it, but I'm just saying it's fast on purpose because it's made specifically for an audience that does not engage with movies. And I'm just doing everything in my power to make sure that they understand that these things are out there and we're going to engage with you. And here you go. Experience a movie that you don't have to look at your phone. Pay attention for a second.
Yeah. I'm showing that it's currently playing on Amazon Prime and Fandango.
Yeah.
And Apple, I believe. Apple too, as well. So, Joseph, I hope I can call you a friend of the show.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. And we'd love to have you back when you have another movie or something to talk about. Follow, and your is your Twitter or your X, is it just Joseph Kahn?
Yes, it is me. There's another Joseph Kahn who is the editor of the New York Times. So I'm constantly getting these angry political messages from him.
That's great.
And I have to keep telling people I'm not the political guy. I'm the guy that makes rock emo monster movies. So stop death threats.
Well, thank you so much, and really appreciate you coming on the show. Perfect movie for Halloween. Check out Ick, and Joseph, don't be a stranger. I'll talk to you on social media, and it was just a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Take care, Joseph. Later.
Bye.
That was awesome.
I know. A little extended interview there.
That was, and just a regular, normal sexual. Dude.
Yeah.
That's
just a guy who wants to make movies.
And by the way, don't go away. I have a special treat for everyone before the show ends. But I have to say, KRS10 Entertainstries became a YouTube member. Thank you. Please support the channel by becoming a member. It's something you can do to help us out. I want to say thanks to our mod, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, and Atomic Lori, who is watching Ick tonight. And I want to tell a little Halloween story. As a kid, I loved horror films. I loved them. Used to watch them late at night. What would I do back in Michigan? I'd watch Sir Graves Ghastly. Sir Graves Ghastly was on Saturday afternoons, monster movies. I watched Creature Feature. I watched The Ghoul. Do people remember The Ghoul? Ron Swede in Michigan. I watched him. He showed Super 8 movies made by local filmmakers like Sam Raimi. I stayed up late night and watched horror films. This is how I discovered them. I learned how to read by reading the newspaper before I started kindergarten. I would read the newspaper to find out what monster movies were playing on TV. Godzilla, Dracula, Frankenstein, and I love to watch horror films late at night. When I say late, I generally fell asleep as a kid. I would always fall asleep watching a horror film. And there's a weird thing when you do that. When you fall asleep watching a horror film and then you wake up you've seen the movie a little bit. You're in that groggy state where you're watching the movie, maybe you're dozing off, you can hear the movie, then you wake up or you hear a scream, something happens, you're watching the movie, you see the movie, you fall asleep. And then the worst was when you'd wake up and there would be snow on the screen. That terrified me as a kid because TV ended at a certain time of night. Usually around like 2 a.m., TV ended. It didn't start until 6 a.m., which was always some church-related thing or something. So our friend, Damon Packard, who we've interviewed on this show, has been doing some crazy experiments. And I'll just say, I feel like he captured the feeling that I had when I saw horror films when I was a kid. He captured the feeling perfectly of that dozing off, seeing a horror movie, waking up, seeing something terrifying, going back to sleep, waking up in snow. And I want to share that feeling with you right now. And I want to say happy Halloween to my friend Alan Ing.
Happy Halloween, Chris.
Doomsome. I'm going to share this with you, and we'll end the show with this little treat. Enjoy Damon Packard's film.
Why aren't they coming to the door?
They're all on their phones.
They no longer need the masks, Doctor.
Beware the signal.
Happy Halloween. Upload your soul tonight.
Trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat.
Every choice I make is predicted. Every fear I feel is marketed back to me.
Once the world had many harvests, now there's only one culture, one screen, one mask.
Commercialized nostalgia. That's what they feed on now. The young have no stories of their own, only reruns. They mistake memory for meaning. The year 1982, the doorway. The veil between the real and the unreal at its thinnest, and through it they come.
They feed on recycled wonder, bright plastic dreams that never belonged to them. It's easier that way. No culture, just commerce. No stories, only templates.
No community. Only the monoculture. The same dream replayed in every mind. The signal never sleeps. They call it progress. I call it preservation of the corpse. The realm between broadcasts, the dead zone you see, a time...
We demand an inclusive reboot of the ritual! No more male-dominated spooky patriarchy!
New traditions. So the code provided. It's not witchcraft, Doctor. It's repetition.
Samhain once marked the end of the harvest. Now it marks the upload.
The ritual has gone digital, and it's still hungry.
They asked for connection. We gave them current.
1982 was the test year. They rebooted the world and nobody noticed.
The veil was meant to close, but they left it open for commerce.
Your nostalgia's not sacred, Cochran. It's a virus.
The key is the year they sold belief and called it better.
They've been selling the same dream since 82. And now it's moving.
History repeats because the tape never stopped.
1982 wasn't the past. It was the blueprint.
Everything's phasing in and out.
7, 6.
You wanted eternal October. This is it.
5, 4.
Reality restored. For now.
Halloween marked the dying of the sun, the doorway to the darker half of the year. salmon.
That's it.
The night when the veil broke.
Just the glitch that refused to fade.
Halloween 333, season of the simulation.
And Alan, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, let's get out of here.